Do pickup artist tactics really work? The truth about short-term success and long-term failure. Unlocking the truth about pickup artist tactics. Do they really lead to meaningful connections? Hey there. If you're curious about the effectiveness of pickup artist tactics, you're in the right place. The answer is not a simple yes or no, it depends on what you're genuinely seeking. I've witnessed transformations in men who were once shy and socially awkward, blossoming into the life of the party, effortlessly attracting women every weekend. However, there's a catch. These newly minted social butterflies often found themselves surrounded by women who were, shall we say, less than ideal partners, the users, cheaters, or drama queens. Why? Because these were the individuals most susceptible to the tactics. Here's the thing, deep down, many men, perhaps even you, if you're part of our community, aspire to connect with someone special, a woman with whom you can share meaningful moments, look forward to spending time together, and build a lasting relationship. The irony? While some men might secretly hope their negative perceptions of women are incorrect, acknowledging this would require a daunting admission, their approach might be flawed, or worse, there might be something they need to work on. But here's the reassuring part, in most cases, there's nothing inherently wrong with these men, the issue lies with the pickup artist strategies they're employing. These tactics, though occasionally successful for short-term encounters or hookups, rarely translate to attracting high-value women, the kind you truly want to spend your time with. So, let's delve into the story of Josh, a man who underwent a remarkable transformation from shy guy to social magnet, only to find himself perplexed by the absence of genuine connections. Josh's journey, from shy to social, but at what cost? Josh had always been enamored with the idea of being the life of the party, but his shy and sometimes socially awkward nature held him back. That was until he discovered the world of pickup artist tactics. Eager to reinvent himself, Josh joined a community, practiced diligently for months, and witnessed a significant boost in confidence and charm. He mastered the art of captivating women with intriguing, mysterious stories and unexpected spontaneity, often flaunting his social status with designer attire. The 5 reasons pickup artist strategies worked for Josh, short term. 1. Initial confidence boost. Tactics helped him overcome initial approach anxiety. 2. Novelty factor. Unique stories and spontaneity piqued women's interests. 3. Perceived social status. Flaunting wealth attracted a certain type of woman. 4. Short-term validation. Frequent hookups provided temporary ego boosts. 5. Community support. Being part of a community motivated him to continue. The 5 reasons these strategies failed Josh: long-term, high-value connections. 1. Superficial connections. Tactics attracted women based on superficial qualities. 2. Lack of genuine engagement. Conversations were often contrived and lacking depth. 3. Negative perception of women. Attracted women reinforced negative stereotypes. 4. Inauthenticity. Josh felt he was pretending to be someone he's not. 5. Missed opportunity for self-improvement. Focused on tactics rather than personal growth. The biggest reason high-value women don't stay with pickup artists. Incompatibility beyond the surface. High-value women seek substance, shared values, and genuine connections, which pickup artist tactics often overlook. A hard-learned lesson from the pickup art. True connections require vulnerability, self-awareness, and a willingness to grow. By focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, you'll naturally attract someone who appreciates you for who you are. Welcome to our community. If you're new here, I'm glad you joined us. My mission is to help men decode modern women, not to manipulate or attract them through gimmicks, but to foster genuine connections. If you recognize the importance of mutual understanding and are ready to work on yourself, then you're in the right place. Stay tuned for more insightful content designed to guide you towards meaningful relationships. Josh was the kind of guy who believed in making an impression. He was all about the flashy lifestyle, sporting the latest designer watch, carrying the newest smartphone, and driving a car that was, frankly, beyond his means. He thought these things would impress the ladies, especially the ones he'd meet at clubs. He figured they'd be captivated by his seemingly affluent lifestyle and eat it all up. Initially, his strategy seemed to work. He had no trouble picking up women who were drawn in by his material displays. This was fun for a while, a thrill even. But deep down, Josh was yearning for something more meaningful. He wanted to find a woman he could genuinely connect with, someone he'd want to spend time with beyond just a few nights of casual fun. However, like many who've walked this path, he found that the women who were interested in more than just a fleeting encounter often turned out to be users, cheaters, or just plain drama queens, definitely not the kind of person he was looking for in a girlfriend. Despite his growing skepticism, Josh still held onto a glimmer of hope. He knew it was time to find a high-value girlfriend, a woman of substance. But this felt like a much more daunting task. He began to realize that while he could easily find casual encounters at clubs and bars, those weren't the places where he was likely to meet a truly high-value woman who was interested in a committed relationship. So, he decided to change his approach. He stopped frequenting those nightlife spots and instead started joining co-ed groups and activities in the real world. He began striking up conversations with women he'd meet in everyday places, like the grocery store or the local coffee shop. But here's the thing, he was still relying on his old pickup artist tactics, the ones that had worked so well in the club environment. These women, however, saw right through his act. They found his approach forced and insincere. Without the pulsating music and dim lighting of the clubs to mask his true intentions, his techniques fell flat. He was struggling to make a genuine connection with women in the real world. Not only that, but the behavior that clubgoers saw as confident often came across as overly aggressive or arrogant to women in everyday life. They were either intimidated or completely turned off by his approach. And honestly, who could blame them? Josh was becoming increasingly frustrated and sometimes embarrassed by his lack of success. This frustration sometimes led him to push boundaries, and he'd end up being disrespectful or rude, especially when faced with rejection. Naturally, this only made it harder for him to form a genuine connection with anyone. On the rare occasions when Josh did manage to get close to a high-value woman, which, interestingly, only happened when he let his guard down and wasn't actively using his pickup tactics, things still didn't go smoothly. He'd start to think she was too good for him, and his neediness and possessiveness would eventually drive her away. His past experiences with the women he met at clubs, coupled with his own insecurities, often led him to fear that she would cheat on him or treat him poorly. So, he'd act out, sabotaging the relationship before it even had a chance to blossom, even though she wasn't even considering doing those things. After numerous failed attempts at building a meaningful relationship with a high-value woman using his pickup tactics, Josh finally had a breakthrough. He realized that these tactics were only effective for short-term, casual flings. Pickup artist strategies alone simply aren't conducive to building long-term, committed, and successful relationships. Feeling frustrated and disheartened, Josh reverted to his old ways, picking up women at bars and clubs, and eventually, he became quite bitter about the whole dating scene for a long time. But his story doesn't end there. Eventually, he stumbled upon a dating coach who offered a completely different perspective. This coach emphasized the importance of authenticity. No tactics, no clever lines, no performance-based strategies, and no need for expensive status symbols. The coach's advice was simple yet profound: be yourself, like yourself, and cultivate a life that you genuinely enjoy on your own. And when you do that, and this is a key point, you'll stop appearing needy because you'll no longer feel that way internally. Instead of seeing yourself as inferior to high-value women, you'll begin to recognize your own worth. This shift will naturally lead you to develop personal standards and a genuine curiosity about people, not just the women you might have once viewed as targets. Take Josh, for example. He mastered these principles. He didn't just define himself through others' perceptions, he cultivated a quieter, more authentic confidence. His interest in women and people overall became sincere, allowing him to form deeper connections. Unlike my friend, the pickup artist, who was stuck in a transactional mindset, always trying to get something from others. Josh engaged with people without ulterior motives. More on my friend's pivotal realization in a moment. Josh still experienced a few relationships along the way, but they were far less chaotic than before. Each one taught him valuable lessons. Eventually, he found his ideal partner, a high-value woman who truly complemented his life. So, what can we learn from Josh's journey? And why don't high-value women stay with pickup artists long-term? Let's break it down. First, let's acknowledge 5 aspects of pickup artist, PUA, tactics that do work, traits that benefit both men and women in dating and self-improvement. 1. Boldness and confidence. Projecting self-assurance attracts others. 2. Intrigue and mystery. Leaving room for curiosity keeps interactions engaging. 3. Fun and spontaneity. Light-heartedness makes connections enjoyable. 4. Social proof. Demonstrating strong friendships, not just material possessions, builds credibility. 5. Grooming and presentation. Caring about your appearance, without obsessing, shows self-respect. However, there are also 5 problematic PUA habits that sabotage long-term relationships with high-value women. Work on eliminating these. 1. Fakeness. Forced or insincere behavior is easily detected. 2. Aggressiveness. Disrespecting boundaries comes across as pushy. 3. Ego-driven reactions. Acting rudely after rejection reveals insecurity. 4. Neediness. Clinginess in relationships is a major turnoff. 5. Self-sabotage. Acting aloof or paranoid, assuming all women are untrustworthy. Now, back to my pickup artist friend. He was skilled at attracting women, so much so that he dated multiple women simultaneously, with their knowledge. While he wasn't dishonest, none of these relationships lasted. High-value women eventually moved on because they refused to share him. Here's the key insight: a high-value woman won't settle for being one of many. She knows her worth and expects exclusivity. My friend eventually had a life-changing realization. He transitioned from short-term flings to a meaningful, committed relationship with one incredible woman, and he's never been happier. I delve deeper into why high-value women level up when dating pickup artists, and why they eventually leave, in my video review of the 33 Secrets She Doesn't Care About You. Watch it to uncover more revelations from my friend's journey. Thanks for reading, and best wishes on your own path to growth.